do you have any ink and pen suggestions for editors, proofreaders, and professional writers? A lot of us have to make annotations on cheap paper, cheap printer paper that often feathers and bleeds with wet nibs. Is this something that can be avoided with the right pen and ink combo? Sure, you know, we've actually got a decent number of paper questions on this Q&A, which is kind of cool. So yeah, it's, you know, paper is just one of those things. You never know what you're going to get. So again, you got to go with finer nibs. And then there's certain inks out there, like Noodler's X Feather, Heart of Darkness, Noodler's Black. Those are all black inks, so I don't know how much editing you like to do in black, but those all really kind of hold their own on cheaper paper. So that's kind of a go-to that I recommend. Usually though, if you're editing, I don't know, it depends on what you're doing. You know, I don't know a lot of professional editors that are using fountain pens, honestly. So this, I would actually be kind of cool, James, to know how you're using them and what your experience is. So let's keep the conversation going after this Q&A is over. But I do talk to a fair number of teachers, okay, and they like to do reds and greens and stuff like that. Sheaffer Red and Noodler's Nikita are two kind of popular reds that are used for correction, editing, that kind of stuff, for fountain pens on cheaper paper. So those would be kind of my go-to recommendations as well. Other people might like to do green or purple or whatever, and then you're kind of into, you know, going to what I was talking about with like blues and oranges and stuff like that, like going with something that's not a permanent ink, something that is maybe a little lighter in color that won't bleed quite as much, maybe. And then just as far as like things you should avoid, like you said, wet pens, but anything with a really broad nib. You want to avoid stub nibs, flex nibs. Those all put a lot of ink down on the page, so you want to avoid using those if you can.